Ode to a Nobody by Caroline Brooks Dubois. First chapter Friday read aloud video with the word nerd. Today, as you listen, watch for the story quote that will appear on screen. Write it down word by word and then follow the instructions given to you by your teacher. Stay all the way to the end to see if you've written it down correctly. Hey, it's April, which means it's National Poetry Month. If you're looking for more novels in verse, I've got all of these for you on my channel, or at least I will by the end of April 2023. Happy reading and happy Poetry Month. One last thing before we get started. I want to give a shout out to Mrs. Van Alstein's 6th grade class at Big Walnut Intermediate School. Thanks so much for being here for this First Chapter Friday video. Hey everybody, my name's Amanda Ziba. Welcome to my channel, Learning with the Word Nerd, and another First Chapter Friday video. This week I'm going to be reading to you from the novel in verse, Ode to a Nobody by Caroline Brooks Dubois. And this is one of those books that is both perfect for now and perfect for always. And let me explain to you what I mean. This story is about a girl whose town experiences a tornado. And right now our country is being ravaged with these vicious and furious storms. And so many people are experiencing what the main character Quinn is experiencing. And I think that one of the amazing things about books is it helps us go through hard things together. It helps us navigate and learn what it is we're supposed to do and what it is we're supposed to say, both if we are that person experiencing that same thing that the character is experiencing, and also if we are not the person who's experiencing. We learn what can be helpful and what can be hurtful. And it's such a powerful tool. So that's why I think it's perfect for now, is all the tornadoes going through our country, and that's what's happening in this book. Why it's a perfect book for always is because it's about a teen who's trying to figure out who her friends are and where she fits in and what kind of human she wants to be. And that is something that will never change about being a human. And again, by reading what Quinn does and what she experiences, we can figure out our own lives. And I just love this book, and I know that y'all are going to as well. So I'm going to read you the inside blurb, and then, like most novels in verse, chapter is kind of fluid. I'm going to read you like the first 10 pages, and I think that will give you a pretty good idea of what the story's about and if you think that you are going to like it. Before the storm, 13-year-old Quinn was happy flying under the radar. She was average, unremarkable, always looking for an escape from her house where her bickering parents fawned over her genius big brother. Inside our broken home, we didn't know how broken the world was outside. After the storm, Quinn can't seem to go back to Unremarkable. But her friends weren't changed by the tornado. To them, the storm left behind a playground of abandoned houses and distracted adults. As Quinn struggles to find stability in the tornado's aftermath, she must choose between homes, friendships, and versions of herself. Nothing that was mine yesterday is mine today. Told in rich, spectacular verse, poet Caroline Brooks Dubois crafts a powerful story of redemption as Quinn makes her way from before to after. This emotional coming-of-age journey for middle grade readers proves that it's never too late to be the person you want to be. I know I've shared with you before that I taught 6th grade for 12 years, and that was my favorite thing about teaching 6th grade was people are just figuring out who they are. And as a teacher, I got to kind of help along with that. So here we go. Ode to a Nobody by Caroline Brooks Dubois. And the first section is called The Before. So this is before the tornado. This poem is called Expert of Nothing. It's another Monday, and I'm still the student I was on Friday. Worse, my pencil's gone dumb in my grip, and I begin to sweat. I had my paper Quinny. Easy enough. Deep breath. Erase that. Write Quinn. Erase that. Write Quinn, parenthesis, i.e., parenthesis. Erase that and rip a jagged hole in my paper that I want to slip into. Mrs. Koval eyes me and says, "Don't think so hard. Just make a list of everything you're good at or consider yourself an expert in." My page is empty, like my mind. Maybe I should write good at sweating. Everyone else is hunched, madly writing, like way more than usual. Even Jack across the room tosses words onto his paper. Of course, he's an expert gamer and skater and talker when he's in trouble. Maybe I should write good for nothing. You can refer to this list when you need a topic for your poem. 2 rows in front of Jack sits Jade, who turned our friend group from 2 to 3 last year when she came here from another school. She flips the back of her paper and keeps going. Also an expert skater, all tricks and skill, an expert rule breaker, expert at being the new girl in middle school, expert at befriending Jack and me, I guess. I was the plastic toy chucked in for free. My paper waits impatiently for my expertise. 3 more minutes, Ms. Koval says. I pop my knuckles. If I were Forrest, I'd write perfect student, valedictorian, prototypical son. Basically, a chameleon. No joke, he aces everything. He's even supreme at being a brother. When it comes to me, I'm coming up empty. How will I start this project if I can't even start this list? I stare out the window at a kite caught in the power lines. I think about my C's, the F I've got in math, and a B in English just 'cause Miss Koval is kind. I write on my paper, I'm a kite dangling from a branch, tangled and tossing in the shadows of tall trees. Not bad, I think. Prepare to partner share your areas of expertise, Ms. Koval says. I gulp, erase, and quickly scribble, decent caretaker of small animals, basic skater, competent gamer. Maybe with practice I can become an expert at one of these. The next poem is called My Mom Thought I Was Going to Be a Boy. Today in English we're writing our origin stories in 15 sentences or fewer. This I think I can manage. Mine goes, Mom's ultrasound and intuition convinced her I was to be born boy. So my parents chose a name for me for 9 long months and called me Quinn. When it turned out I was a girl, Mom still liked Quinn. It's gender neutral, she insisted. Dad disagreed and has always called me Quinny. So it's Quinn on paper, but out loud mostly Quinny, and sometimes Quinn, depending on who's speaking. Quinny, Jolene, Nash is how I've been writing it lately with the parentheses around the I and the E at the end of Quinny, so neither parent can claim me as their victory. That's me, age 13, master of nothing. Mom got to name me. Essentially, she won. Dad zip. Mom won. In case anyone's keeping score, and I know they are. Sometimes when she calls me, I wonder if she wishes I'd been born that boy or some other version who doesn't mess up so much. Pumpkin's origin story. Last summer, Mom and Dad were exchanging words, not kind ones, and Forrest said, let's go. We hopped in his car, windows down, music up. He took me to Pet Town. Pretty sure they don't take sisters, I told him. Not even pesky ones? He smiled his smile and made things okay. We strolled the aisles, named all the kittens, and then we noticed him. Or maybe Pumpkin picked us, standing on his hind legs, nose wiggling, whiskers working, a hamster, round like a pumpkin. Should we ask Mom? Nah, Forrest said, we got this. He paid, carried the cage, and helped me to set Pumpkin up in my bedroom. Now you have a 4-footed friend to talk to. Forrest was right. Pumpkin's made for listening. Always here and all ears. The next poem is called Free Write. Free writing is the warm-up, Ms. Koval pep talks, before the big game, before we kick off the April Poetry Project. Jade would call this busy work. Jack would say it's just another teacher preaching how words hold power to shape our lives, or a teacher trick so she can pick the shiniest student to read at the end-of-year coffee house for the smiling parents. I can picture it. Jack and me in the back row, feet kicked up on another desk, some brainiac mumbling poems from their polished portfolio. But for a split second, I picture myself up there. Reality check. If this is the warm-up before the game, I will be the one warming the bench. No medals, ribbons, or plaque for my wall. Mom and Dad will be relieved if I at least pull a C. Acrostic assignment, what's in a name? An acrostic poem is a poem that has a word down the side, left-hand side of the paper, and then a sentence or a phrase that begins with each letter of the word going down. So Quinn is doing her name. You can see Quinn E. And hers says, questioning. Untalented? A blunder, I wonder. If my brother's star beams bright, does it nullify my dull speck of light? Not trying to compete with his glory in this lifetime. End of story. Friendly feedback. You wrote on my acrostic in teacher cursive and teacher ink. I bet there's more to your story. But what if my story is boring? What if I'm not the appetizer, main course, or dessert, but the leftovers? Cold hamburger missing its bun in the back of the fridge, 2 sprigs of broccoli, and a stale biscuit. What if I'm just another kid in this class clumped in with those kids in the back, the ones you keep an eye on, taking notes? What if my brother, who you taught and called brilliant, as if I didn't know, is the better model? Sounds about right, since he got the better version of my parents, too. Simile assignment. Writing is like. Simile is a comparison that uses the words like or as. Writing is like homework, but it beats math any day. I won't say home fun. No thanks, Ms. Koval, because for that pun, it's still hard and I can't figure it out. At least with math, it's right or wrong, and mostly wrong if you're me. If writing were like skating, I'd say skate on and attempt to be boss with Jack and Jade in my audience. If writing were like gaming, I'd say game on and try to win, but it's not, and I haven't beat Jack or Jade at a game in weeks. If I were a real writer, I'd win contests, glow in applause, not be here writing this poem full of flaws. While Jack and Jade are out somewhere having fun, if words flowed freely, this would be easy, but I'm not, and they don't. Writing is like a job, serious work putting thoughts into words, just sitting and thinking and penning. No high score to beat, no next level to reach. So how will anyone know if I'm winning? Honestly, I have no clue what writing is like or how to do this simile assignment correctly, but it feels like something I can kind of wing from beginning to end. So maybe poetry is like an opportunity. If I turn each poem in, you'll see I'm trying here, and give me a B. If you want to find out what happens to Quinn and her town with the tornado, with her brother, with her friends, with her parents, with Pumpkin, the hamster, absolutely pick up a copy of this book. As you can see, the cover is just gorgeous, and I know you're going to love it. So thank you so much for being here for this First Chapter Friday video. I will see you again next time, and happy Poetry Month and happy reading. To continue reading Ode to a Nobody by Caroline Brooks Dubois, pick up a copy from your school library, purchase one from your favorite local indie bookstore, or grab it via the link in the description box. Then be sure to check out the rest of the First Chapter Friday playlist. I have over 100 middle grade and young adult stories waiting for you. This week's mystery quote says, "People say home is where the heart is, but it's more complex than that, when the where is spread between places." Thanks so much for visiting my channel, Learning with the Word Nerd. I hope you come back again for more First Chapter Friday videos and check out these great places online for more content. See you again next time and happy reading!